Hello everybody, welcome back to Explain 11. This music is absolutely amazing, and if you want to find out more about this music, just YouTube Gabe Miller Music. Fantastic young creator who gives me the rights to use this music. Awesome music, absolutely. All right, let's get going here. We are in obviously a cold and dark cockpit. We have no lights at all, as you can see. We are going to be flying today from Salt Lake City to Denver. A first for me, never flown this route before. We'll see how it goes and see if I screw it up or anything like that. So let's get going. First of all, I'm going to bring up my X checklist like I always do, and we're going to get going here. I'm also going to go ahead and bring up my aviation flashlight, as you can see, and I see that all the windows appear to be in good condition. And let's go ahead and connect that GPU. All right, let's go and do the battery now. Right here, bring that on. Fantastic. Go ahead and bring the, actually I think I have to switch to the ground power status, but first let's check the landing gear, and all landing gear is good. Bus transfer is already guarded and closed. Let's go ahead and change the ground power here. And we go ahead and get that overhead lamp going. Make that, put that to dim. And let's crank up that panel lights as well. Go ahead and hit that master caution. And main panel is going to crank up. Background will bring up as well. And my AFDS flood as well. And of course we have to do the first officers and the center console, bring up the flood and the panel lights. With that done, I can go and turn off this aviation flashlight. Panel lighting is complete. Wheel light's going to come on. Position is going to go to steady. And we're going to go and test our fire panel as we know we do, to make sure we don't have any issues. Looks good to me. Alberto, thanks for the donation, man. $2. Thank you so much. Hey, $2 is $2. I cannot thank you enough, man. Thank you, sir. Man, that's awesome. You were the first one, by the way. You're the first donation. Thank you so much. I cannot say that enough. All right, emergency exit lights are going to come on. Fasten seatbelts is going to come on as well. And we're going to hit that attend button. And all that should be down, throttle 0, and that's down. And parking brake set. Fantastic. Okay, and VHF1. Cargo fire test. Oh, that's right. Cargo fire test. Fantastic. Okay. Circuit breakers, no, none are popped. That's just standard. It's not even modeled. So, stall warning 1, stall warning 2. Flight recorder test and extinguish. Good there. And mic selectors VHF1. EEC lights guarded and on. The reversers lights are off as well. Oxygen passenger. It looks like it's in a good pressurization position. And Animesh I'm just going to Animesh. Thanks for the subscription, man. I appreciate it. Get me closer to my goal here in May. Thank you so much. Okay, service. I appreciate it, Baffinite. Thank you. Yeah, I understand. Not everyone has money to give, and I don't ask that you have to donate. I will always offer free content, so do not worry. All right, left and right IRS going to nav. This is going to heading and select, or heading and status, I should say. That's good. ELT is guarded, and we'll go and test these. Looks good to me. All right, let's go and test our lights here and make sure nothing is broken. And just check in, making sure everything is lit. Nothing's extinguished. The only thing that should be extinguished are these right here, and we'll test those separately. It looks good to me. So go ahead and say, yes, we are good. We're going to flip it to bright. And AP disconnect. So it's just 1 and 2 here. 1 and 2. I appreciate it, Batfinite. I don't know if I'm the best, but I appreciate that. Inches and local QNH. And what we're going to do is we're going to bring up our Avi tab. And we're going to pull up our airport today, which is, of course, Salt Lake City. And we'll see our elevation here is 4,227 feet. And, of course, our altimeter is 3009. So we'll go ahead and input that here into the system, 3009. As such, yep, local QNH is complete. Minimum reference, that's going to be on barometric, and that's going to be, again, we're at 4,227. Since it's 4,227, that means it needs to be 5,227 for our barometric reference. So we're going to crank that thing up. Am I a real pilot? No, I am not. I do want to get my license, but I'm not. I am not a real pilot. I am just a aviation enthusiast and have been doing simulations for a long time. What was that? 4227. 4227. 4227. Have I seen in-game? No, I have not seen in-game. Honestly, I haven't really even thought about going to see it. I used to be a huge fan of Marvel movies, but I kind of lost interest in them after Avengers Age of Ultron, and it's just the thing. I just kind of lost interest, honestly, in a lot of movies as well. I just kind of tuned out and started doing this a lot more. Video games have more interest to me, but I'm not opposed to going to see it. It's just not on my schedule, which is jam-packed. Standby altimeter, we're right here. This goes to 3009 as well. Make sure that is set. It is. All right, standby altimeter set. Main panel DU is normal, lower DU is that's UTC, nose while steering is guarded. And pilot mask oxygen test, we'll go ahead and test that real fast. All right, that's done. All right, and Mach speed air test 1 and 2. Completed. Takeoff configuration test. We're going to test that horn real fast. And that's good. All right. First officer AP disconnect 1 and 2. Test those. Barometric preference again. Going to set that for 3009 as such. And local values QNH, that's completed. Reference, just like on the other side, we're going to flip this to baro and crank this all the way up to 5227. Hey, I there's some games I'm the same way. I enjoy watching people play it more than I do actually playing it. I think it's just a personal preference. 5227. Come on. Get down there. 227. There we go. All right. Weather radar is off. This needs to change to UTC, which it is now set. First officer oxygen mask test. If I get the button here. There we go. I see a new streamer. Oh, yeah, I appreciate it. I'm not necessarily new, but relatively new, I should say. Relatively more popular, I should say. All right, iris position. We can go ahead and make sure our information is correct here, which it is. Batfinite, you just got Streamlabs spotted with links. Yeah, links aren't allowed. So, yep. All right, position initial, right. GPS left. We'll go and clear that. Oh gosh. GPS left, and we'll go and put that in the set iris position. Reference. That's all right, man. I used to stream on Twitch, actually. I wasn't for X-Plane, though. I streamed other games. And then I figured out that people loved when I was playing X-Plane over here on YouTube, so I switched over and started streaming here on YouTube instead, just because I noticed that people liked it. So I figured if that's what people wanted to see, then that's what I would do. Reference airport selected. That's done. Go ahead and go to the route page and the origin. And, of course, our arrival into Denver will be our destination. Our flight number today, excuse me, Flight Club 1001. Put that into the flight number. And we'll be taking off runway 16 right, I believe. So we'll put that in. All right. And airways and waypoint routing. We're going to go over to our nav tab, of course. Bring up our chart here. and bring in our, look at our flight plan here. Did I ever play soccer? Of course I did. I played for 13 years. Rugged 1, Purty, and then directed Shea in French 3. So we're not going to have any center airways or anything like that, or waypoints, so we don't even have to worry about doing the airway and routing page, which normally be here on this next page, but we don't have to worry about that. We can go direct to departure here, Rugged 1. And are we transitioning through Purdy? Is there a Purdy transition? There is. Okay. And we'll go to arrival into Denver, and we're using the French 3 transition Shea. French 3 transition Shea onto ILS 16 right. Yes, 16 right. All right, we can go ahead and go to the route. We'll go ahead, say yes, 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 and activated. And we'll go over to this right here into our planned fuel. All right, we'll go and bring up our fuel. Now, before we, zero fuel weight, flight plan estimated. So yeah, what I'm gonna do here is if you look, the estimated tow weight and zero fuel weight is, you can see zero fuel weight 62732, and you can go ahead and put that in as, I go into the initial reference here. You see, you can bring the gross weight in, you can bring the zero fuel weight in and everything automatically if you go ahead and set the fuel before you hit this. But if I follow this flight plan, this checklist, you'll see how you can do it kind of manually according to this. So 62.7. So that's going to be 62,700. So 62.7 tons, zero fuel weight. And gross weights is saying 74.7. If we look here, it could be about right, but we'll make sure that's right, obviously, before we take off. And our block fuel today is 6.373. Our alternate is, our reserves, I should say, is 2.3-ish. 2.3, so 2.3. Cost index 30. All right. Who are you asking? Where am I? Who were you? Where's who from? This, are you talking to me? Or are you talking to people in the chat? 350. Put that in. That's done. And we haven't done that yet, so let's go ahead and pull that. It wants my cruising winds here, which if we pick French 256056, 256/056, and temperature at top of climb is -56. -56. Boom. Everyone, I am from Alabama in the United States. All right. Descent forecast. We are going to pull 310, 200, 150. So 310, 250, and 200, 200, and 150. As such, we'll pull the winds. 258.053 /053, 270.025, 270/025, and 286.016, 286/016. Okay. Yeah, Bat Finite, I know who you are. Let's see here. And what was I doing? Q and H, that's right. Q and H. I'm going to pull up my destination Q and H. Next, and we'll pull up 3003. 30.03. Oh, shoot. I gotta put the slash. Thrash 30.03. Boom. There we go. That is all completed. All right. And execute that. And then we'll go into our fix here. And we're going to be landing at 16. Oh, RW stands for runway, 16 right. Voila. We'll go 10, 5, 0, 5. There we go. And 0, 3.5. All right. Yes, I do. All right. That's done. We'll go here. Cabin lighting. Right, that's done. Okay. We'll go doors, forward service, aft service, and forward and aft cargo. Now we'll bring up our block fuel. Our payload today. Let me calculate this. Bring up my handy dandy calculator. And let's see, 75 times 140 plus 700. It's 15.2 will be my payload today. So 15.2, enter that. And what is my fuel? Where was it? There it is. And back. There we go. 6.4. Fuel 6.4. Nothing in the center tank. Okay. That's fine. We'll go and start our services on the ground. Go ahead, yaw dampener comes on. That should all be on normal, and that should be on auto. That's correct. Go and turn on our fuel pumps. Check the cross feed. On, then dim, then on, and then extinguished. Supplies normal. Left and right, so the heats, these are coming on. Hydraulic pumps, it's coming on. Crew passengers at 0, that is correct. Trim air comes on, this comes on. This is off, that stays open. This should be off at this time. Flight altitude indicator going up to 3,500. Sorry, 35,000. And what was the altitude? 5434. So that should put me at 5450. Right there. All right. Well, light's going to come off. Logo's on. Wing light, we'll go and turn it on. Oh, shut up. We'll keep it off. That's not true. That's a trigger thing. All right. Go into that. All this should go and turn. Flight director's on. How do I know so much? Lots and lots of research and practice. Courses, let's go and do bank angle here. Let's pull up our departure here out of KSLC. And that was the, where is it? Rugged 1. It is pretty cool, isn't it? Alright, so we'll be taking off Rugged 1. Our initial course here would be 054. We'll go ahead and put that in. Zero 54 on both sides. 054. And the runway heading today, to bring it up, is 164. So go and put that in. 164. Yep, that's done. That's done. Initial climb clearance. Let's go and check that departure again here and see what they have for us. Initial return heading between, yep, as assigned, ATC. So there isn't a one set in the so we need to at least be 11,000. Okay, so we're going to maintain flight level 230 or lower. Expect filed altitude 10 minutes after departure. Okay, so we can go ahead and set this for 230. And then we can expect 10 minutes after to be cleared to our cruising altitude of 350. So that's done. Auto brakes RTO. Fuel flow reset. System oil pressure all 28, and that's good. Fantastic. And that's already good to go as well. We can go and stop the services now. Go into our doors. Go and close these up. Open our forward entry door. It's done. And we're going to start our flight leg here. And we're going to check our route. And to do that, we are going to go to plan. Bring up our legs. And we're going to go ahead and step through here. Make sure we don't have any discontinuities. And we're going to go ahead and delete these vectors as well. Alright, let's go and step through here, make sure everything looks good. Let me bring that to 20. Ooh, that's a weird approach. Okay, so Baba. Oh, that's the go around. Execute. You should see difference. Yeah. I'm in Kayleen, Waskell, and then what is that? Merlin? Jetson. That's a weird approach pattern. We'll see how that does. I'm not sure how that's going to work out. If we have to, we can always vector ourselves into the area. But we'll give it a shot and see how that works out for us. All right. Forward entry, we can go and close that. All packs have now boarded. So we'll close the forward entry, close both the rear and forward cargos, and we'll give the welcome aboard message here in a second.
Folks from the cockpit, I'd like to welcome you on board. We're ready up front. Everybody's closed up outside. We're just waiting to get some of our performance numbers and the clearance from air traffic control, and we should be underway. It's our pleasure having you on board with us today. Sit back, relax, enjoy the flight. Should be underway here shortly. Thanks for flying with Delta today.
All right. All right, Bat 9, have a good one, man. That's fine. Yep, it's dry. So we'll go 5 flaps, pull our center of gravity, and go initiate that as well. That's good. All that should automatically fill, and 144 should be the 144. All right, flight deck door should be closed. We're going to bring up our X camera. And close this. All right, APU, go and start this sucker up on, and then 1, 2, 3, release. Waiting for that to run a little bit. I have not done a long haul. That's mainly because I don't have an aircraft that is capable of doing that. I'm familiar enough with to do so. At some point, I do plan on doing a long haul. I just haven't done it yet. And I got to find the time to stream it because I'd want to stream it, of course. All right, APU generators are going to come on now. APU bleed can come on. GPU is disconnected. We'll go and pull that off as well. Chimes only. This is going to auto. Just let them know that we are preparing to push back. On contact ATC. Flight Club 10001 to clearance delivery. Currently at gate blah blah blah. Because IFR clearance to Denver as filed. Tell me if I'm clear, what SID they're gonna go, what our initial altitude clearance would be, and they give us a transponder code. And we'll go ahead and say that they give us a 4304. All right, we'll read back that to them, blah, blah, blah. And then we'll go ahead and get a pushback going here. We're going to pre-plan our pushback. And I want to say, where is, yeah, there's the runway. So we'll pre-plan our pushback. I believe it's that way. Let me check this way as well. And there's runway here too, but which one is this? Should be 16 left. Yep, that's what I thought. We're going to take out 16 right, so we should go ahead and push back like so.
Ground to cockpit, plan acknowledged. Call me through the menu when you are ready.
Go ahead and request that pushback.
Ground to cockpit, tow is driving up.
All right, fantastic. And go ahead and contact ATC, request pushback and engine start. They'll let us know, yes, you can go ahead and do so. And we obey the ground instructions for pushback. And wait for us to be pushed back here. Should be a beautiful flight today.
Okay, all doors and hatches are closed. Ready to connect.
Go ahead and connect, sir.
So connected and bypass pin inserted. Release parking brake.
All right, that wants to release park bait. We'll go ahead and do so.
Starting pushback, and you may start engines.
All right, starting ground on 2, watching into rise, looking for 25. Oh, come on, add fuel, add fuel. There we go. Sometimes that's finicky. Watching the EGT on N1 temperatures. We're looking for where if it goes starts climbing above 5,000, you cut that engine off, as it could cause a fire. Looks like it's stabilized, so we're good there. Go and switch to our left engine, or engine 1. Go ahead and activate ground at that as well. And again, watching for that N2 to reach 25. That goes up. Looks like we have a good start of engine 2 as well. Oh, switches to both. This will go to continuous. APU engine generators 1 and 2 come on. APU switches off. Prop heats A and B come on.
Operation complete. Set parking brake.
Alright, left and right air conditionings on. Goes to auto. And this goes to, well, that's
Disconnecting
AP
tow.
bleed off.
Stand by.
Take off flaps. Go 5. 1, 2, 3. That should bring me to 5 degrees. Go and do a status check on my flight controls here. Go full left. I'm sorry, full forward, full back, full left, full right. Rudder, full left, full right. Good. Go and disconnect. Yes, sir. Do a recall. We're good on the recall. Salt Lake Ground, Flight Club 1001, requesting taxi to runway 16 right for departure. Now we'll bring up the airport here and see they
Tow
would.
is disconnected and bypass pin has been removed. Hand signal will be on the left. We'll see you next time. Have a safe flight.
All right. We'll turn up here. We'll take Echo, and then we will go north on Bravo to A11, and we'll take off runway 16 right. That's how we will get there. So Echo to Bravo to A11. Go ahead and turn on my, yep, we're clear there. Lights here. Brake test, and that looks good. All right. Chimes only, going to on. Hit the 10 button, let them know we're taxiing. LNAV, and auto throttle can go armed. We need to change the cabin lighting. Takeoff and landing. All right. Should be it could be a little bit bumpy coming out here. The weather did show quite a bit of winds, so I expect it to be a little bumpy coming on out. But we'll be okay. The flight today should be approximately an hour and 25 minutes. I see that my flight data is not showing up. I wonder why that's the case. Wait a second. Yeah, I'm at Salt Lake. 1 second. That's, yep. Go and dispatch. And we'll just do that. I'm trying to get my flight statistics to pop up here. So that you can see my progress here live. Okay, that looks correct. So now that that's correct, should theoretically, oh, that might be why. All right. There we go. We take it right here at Alpha. I'm sorry, Bravo, not Alpha. Line up here on the taxiway. And we'll taxi all the way down to Alpha 11, and then we'll get up onto the runway here. Look at that. Pretty cool. We'll have plenty of runway, that's for sure. Seattle Tower Flight Club 1001 at runway 16 right for takeoff. Climb, maintain 23,000. Continue IFR to KDN as filed. Go turn radar on. Terrain on. Contact ATC. Transponder TARA. Taxi lights strobe. Taxi's coming off. Landing rights 1 and 2 is coming on. All right, we're about to get on out of here, guys. Make sure it's clear right, clear left. Say we're clear for takeoff, runway 16 right. Climb, maintain 23,000. All right, and AT begins. All right, 40% in one. Wait for stabilization. And we got stabilize in one activated. Pushing down on the yoke.
Eighty knots.
80 knots. Release pressure on the yoke.
D1.
V1 rotating.
Positive rate.
Positive rate gear's going to come up. Go and start making our left turn here.
400.
400 feet. And we can activate that autopilot now.
1,000.
Airspeed bug, 210 knots. Hit that speed button or track flaps as we go. First can come up. Second come up. And final can come up. Go and activate VNav. Contact ATC to know where you are. And wait for that transition altitude. I'm sorry, that 10,000 feet to turn off our landing lights. As such, we can make sure that I'll put this to dim here. Taxi lights are off. Runway turn-offs can come off already. We can pop this out to 20 now. See the nice logo cam or logo light right there, showing the Flight Club logo. This can go to off. RTO can off as well. 10,000 feet. Landing lights coming off. And these can go to auto as well. All right. So now we're going to be heading up to our cruising altitude. Remember, we should expect to clear to our planned cruising altitude of 35,000 feet 10 minutes after. We're only 4 minutes after takeoff, so we still got a little bit to go. and reset these. We don't need those anymore. Still waiting for the 18,000 feet. We're 5 minutes after takeoff. Passing through some clouds, it looks like. Temperature's above 0, so we don't have to worry about anti-ice at this point, because there's no what you call it, if you're below 0 degrees Celsius and you have moisture or some type of water in the air, then you have to turn on your anti-ice. Standard, standard, standard. Terrain comes off. Cab pressurization differential. We're going to make sure we look here. Let me see if I can get a better view here. You can look. So you get your cabin altitude, okay? You have your differential pressure. As you can see, the differential pressure is up here close to 5.5, getting closer to 5.6. And the cabin altitude is only showing right now about 4,000 feet. So you can tell there's a difference of pressurization is almost getting closer to 6,000 feet between the cabin and outside, and that will continue to climb as we climb as well. Just a little thing that you guys might not have known, and that's good. And pressurization, of course, is already on auto. Fasten seatbelts, we can go and switch to auto, not just plain on. Go and recall, make sure you have no errors, and we're good. Heading, we go ahead and adjust our heading track now to line up with our plan here. Seven minutes after, still have not been cleared to our cruising altitude yet.
To go.
We can go ahead and change the cabin lighting here to cruise, white, medium. I'll wait for the announcement for the cruise until we actually reach our cruising altitude, which we still have not been cleared yet. But we are leveling off at 23,000 like we were told, until to expect to be cleared at 10 minutes after departure to our actual cruising altitude of 35,000. Nine minutes after. And let's say they go ahead and clear us to our cruising altitude of 35,000. So we'll go all the way up to 350. Now there's two ways you could actually cause it to go up. You could do a level change, or you could do a vertical speed. I'm going to use vertical speed and tell it to climb at 1,800 feet per minute, which is a gradual climb here. And we'll switch this over to Mach. I want the max Mach to be Mach 0.74. A little bit of rough air right now. Go and turn that fasten seatbelt sign on. Nice gradual ascent to our cruising altitude. Now, of course, you could do a higher feet per minute, or you could do a level change, which will go off your speed. So it'll reach to your certain speed and it'll climb off of your speed, which is very nifty. And I could show you guys that, I guess, if I wanted to, let's say, max of 6.6 and do level change. You'll notice that it will pitch for speed, so you can have a dramatic rate of incline, as you can see. 5,000 feet, that's a little bit high, but it should drop down as closer it gets to speed. As you can see, it starts dropping down on the rate there to match the Mach. The background lights do not work in my game with the ZIBO mod. Are you talking about these right here, like the panel lights? Or you mean like actually out here? Once we pass through 30,000, we got to bring this bank angle down to 10. The panel lights don't work. I'm assuming you're using these right here to turn them on and off. If so, it sounds like a bad install. So I'd go ahead and try reinstalling. Make sure you delete all of the old files first. Notice the air has gotten calm again, so we'll go ahead and switch this back to auto. And notice the temperature is now negative 25 degrees Celsius. But there is no moisture or they call it something else. I can't remember what it's called. Frustrating. Anyway, so we don't really have to worry about it. In regards to your engines and stuff freezing over. Especially when you look at your temperature of your engines at 732. That's pretty high, so I don't think you have to worry about it too much. Target speed 0.743 Mach. So 0.74 Mach is our target climb speed. Or I guess that's our cruise. No, that's our climb. That's our climb speed, yeah. Almost here to our cruising level of 35,000. Almost. It's pretty high. A little bit more rough air. We'll see if it calms down though.
Thousand to go.
Go and pull up our arrival and approach here. Even though we're way out, we're going to be approaching on ILS for 16 right. Bring that up, and we'll also go ahead and bring up our back arrival, which was the French 3 arrival. And you can see that using the French 3, we'll be transitioning through Shea right here. So we'll come in, hit Shea, hit Daryl, then French. LPO Aviation, what's up? Welcome to the stream. And then Scarf, Thompson, we got a restriction of speed right here, 250 knots. Another 250 knots. And then we have 210, and it comes out here. And then we're going to come way back this way and then come back in, which is kind of a weird approach, I think, personally. But not sure why they're giving us that route, but we'll take it. And we'll of course, we'll check out the weather as we get closer and make any adjustments that we need to. Let's go and announce that we're leveling off here. Notice that the everything automatically changed to alt hold. Speed's still the same. So if I wanted to go ahead and change it back to LNAV, for example, so it managed to speed through the FMC. I'm sorry, VNAV. Just hit the VNAV button and automatically manage it. You notice that the cruising speed now is going up to 0.77, which is of course close to our target speed. So we've already done that. Right there. So now we're just cruising, guys, and bring up our progress page. We have 321 nautical miles till we hit Denver, but we only have 176 nautical miles until we get to our top of descent. Our fuel quantity right now will be is 4.9. We're expected to have 3.8 once we reach Denver, which is way more than we need to reach our alternate, which is 2.3. When we hit terminal assist, auto throttle manage the speed, or pilots do it manually. I would say it's dependent on how bad the speed is. I'd say. I mean, if it was, you know, I'm sorry, just how bad the speed is, how bad the turbulence is. If it was severe turbulence, I suspect the pilots would probably take over. But probably most turbulence, they let the aircraft fly. Go and pop out here. Nice black. Can't really see the aircraft very well. That's all right. Pretty cool. Of course, this livery is available to download as a member of the Flight Club, which of course you join by hitting that join button down below. $4.99 a month, less than most fast food meals. And that helps support me buy new aircraft, keep my nav data subscription, that kind of stuff. It all goes back into my channel. Of course, I don't pocket any of the money. As of yet, I should say. Now, if I start earning millions of dollars, that might change. But in general, all of it goes right back into this because I love this. I love doing this. So anyway, I am looking at starting a Patreon for those who may be in areas of the world that the join option is not available on YouTube, which is the case in some areas of the world. So I am looking at that as an option, as an alternative to the join button. It would be the same price, but just a little bit different when it comes to your benefits and stuff. Of course, the Flight Club also has the Flight Club only Discord, which is where you'll find links to this livery and able to talk with me almost on a 24/7 basis, asking me questions and whatever. Now notice that I'm slightly climbing, which is kind of weird. I'm not sure why that is the case. So it's acting like it's actually at the right altitude, so I'm not sure why it's indicating the wrong altitude. That is very interesting. Looks like I'm a little off as well. Let's go back to VNav here. I'm not sure why that is the case. Right now it's not nothing too terrible, so we'll stick with it. If it does get too bad, we can obviously take manual control. (140 nautical miles from our top of descent). If we pull up my charts here, I'm going to be looking at some of this information. My course would be 173, so we can go ahead and put that in our course. Jump ahead of the game here, since we're not using VOR navigation into the area. We'll leave the heading for now. Our ILS frequency is 111.9. We can go and put that into here. 111.9. And put it in both, of course, as always. We'll go and switch it, but we're also going to put in the VOR for the area, which is Denver, which is 117.9. 117.9. And same for this side. 0.9. As such. I am going to go ahead and change my altitude now to my intercept, which is at 7,000 feet at Jetson. So I'm going to drop this to 7,000. Again, top of descent, 126 nautical miles away. which is about right there. Good luck here. We have our ILS decision altitude, which is 200 feet above the runway, 5,526. Well, Matthew, you can always watch my tutorials, and hopefully that can help you learn. 5,526. Oh, we appreciate your support, Alberto. We do. And this goes... Oh, no, not that. That would have been bad. 5,526 as well. $26. There we go. Both those already sent. All right. And now, of course, we're still waiting for our top of descent, which is still a ways out. I am 5 subscribers away from hitting 1,500. That's pretty awesome. Pretty awesome, if I do say so myself. From this VOR, we'll be heading out at 8086 to Daryl, 087 to 094. So we'll pretty much keep the heading as is until after we hit Daryl. 77 nautical miles away from top of descent. You work for Southwest Airlines. I don't know how good they are to their pilots. I would assume they're good, but I don't know. Getting closer. Aero Mexico. Alrighty. We are getting close. Getting excited. One of my favorite parts and most nerve-wracking parts is, of course, the approach and landing. Hello, Pongo. Or Pongu. .45 miles. Indeed, night flight. It is, it is. Live weather, live time. How I like it. 35 miles to the top of descent. Flying at 35,000 feet. 35 miles to go, top of descent. Listen to some jams. That would be awesome. Splitting the cost. I like this music. But yes, copyright laws do prevent me from playing some music. That is correct. I don't want to get a copyright strike on my video. All right, 10 miles top of descent, getting close here. I'm going to go ahead and turn on my wing and engine anti-ice, and that is because as we descend, in case I run through some moisture layers, that I don't want my engines and wings to freeze up. Yeah, that would be garbage, playing X-Plane 11 on a 2011 iMac. I can imagine the frames are terrible. However, you can pause right here. This is my graphics settings. I, on average, get 45 to 50 frames per second with this. Notice reflection detail is all the way to minimal. Anti-aliasing is medium low. And I can keep visual effects pretty high, number of world objects high, and texture quality pretty high as well. And really, this right here helps a lot. And then draw shadows on scenery, take that off. You never notice it unless you're flying general aviation close to the ground. So just a little hint there for you guys who may have some frame issues. Try that out. Appreciate Alberto. Thanks for hitting that like button. You have a good one, sir. If y'all have not hit that like button, go ahead and do it. Helps me with the YouTube algorithm and recommendations and stuff like that. So we are descending now. We'll go ahead and let them know. turn on our cabin lighting to landing. White bright. Announcements made. This is now to set. ILS frequency is already set. Course according to approach chart. That is already set. Bank angle below 30. We go to 250. It is, of course, Denver. We are really high on our descent here. I'm not sure why it took so long to descend, but that's okay. Aaron, welcome. We'll let it take a nice plunge, and we'll put those speed brakes out to help slow it down. Hopefully we're catching up to the vertical deviation. We are. Flight over Galveston and seafood dinner. That's probably pretty good, actually. I'm not a huge seafood fan, but I tell you what, I could definitely go for some fried catfish, which isn't really seafood, but you know, it's fish, or some fried grouper or cod, or I like fried fish. How about that? You give me some fried fish and I'll eat it. Not a huge fan of non-fried. I do love some fried shrimp, though. I will eat some fried shrimp until there's nothing left. But if they're not fried, again, I'm not particularly a huge fan. This can go to 25 now. Check out our landing performance here. No drags required. I've already done that. And gross weight is 60.6. Looks about right. Flaps, we're going to go and use that right there, 30. So we'll go and say we're good there. Auto brakes, we'll go and crank that all the way up to 3. Feel like we're going to come in a little hot today. Thoughts on the Flight Factor A320? Also, do you have a smart co-pilot? I actually had the Flight Factor A320. I enjoy it. I'm still not an expert on it. I'm not even close to as good as I am with the ZIBO on it, but I do have it. I do have some videos of me flying it as well out there. I do not have Smart Copilot. Nah, man. No. Not a huge fan of grilled seafood. Not at all. Okay, we're getting close to our vertical deviation. So we'll keep this speed brakes out to slow us down here. Right, catfish, of course, is our native here in Alabama as well. But of course we have bass as well, but not a huge fan of bass. But you give me some fried catfish and I'll eat that up. We can go and turn off our wing and engine anti-ice. We are above 0 degrees Celsius. We're still about 20 minutes out from landing, so we will not put on our fasten seatbelts yet. Love you some lobster. I've actually never had lobster, so I really couldn't tell you if I like it or not. Part of a virtual airline. I used to be but that was a while ago. I have not been a part of a virtual airline for a while now. Not opposed to joining one, just haven't done it. 2986. That's going to be important here for our transition here. Go and take this one off standard and we're going to put it in 2986 as reference. Take this one off standard as well, 2986. Go ahead and flip our seatbelts on now. I do not fly on VATSIM or Pilot Edge. Again, I do plan on doing that at some point. It's just have not done that. Transition levels, so we'll go ahead and switch this off standard. I'm going to bring it down to 986. Train radar, whether it's on, train cam on. That's already completed. We're going to put the APP mode on for the ILS here. And waiting for 10,000 feet, of course. Fast seatbelt does a sign of the cross. Listen, man. When was the last time I wrecked an aircraft here on X-Plane 11? You'll be fine. You'll be fine. Trust me. I use the CH Products flight yoke and the CH Products rudder pedals and the Thrustmaster. I don't know the number on it. It's a Thrustmaster throttle. It goes with the HOTAS, but I just use the throttle of it right now. I do plan on getting an actual throttle quadrant, but that's further out. That's probably going to be once either. So what my plan is right now for my stuff, I'm going to get the honeycomb yoke, which should be coming out this either late summer or early fall. And I'm going to get that. I'm going to do a review on it, open box, and review it and all that kind of stuff. And once I've done that, if I love the product, then I'll probably wait for the honeycomb throttle quadrant to come out, and I'll just wait for that to buy that one. If I don't love their products or have any issues with it, then I'll probably go out and buy a CH Products throttle quadrant. This, of course, is Denver Airport. I'll be landing here on this far right runway, 16 right, heading that direction. We're going to go out this direction, then we'll make a turn back and then turn again. Weird approach pattern, but that's how it came out in the flight plan, so that's how I'll fly it. Hopefully it works. 80,000. What's the run hours on it, though? You can never get VNAV to work for you in the ZIBO. It's kind of hard to answer that without knowing more. What I would do is, I don't know if you have, but check out my latest FMC tutorial and see if that works out for you. If it, oh. It's not too bad, I guess. It's a little rough, but I mean, it is what it is, right? What I would make sure, though, is make sure that wasn't used as a training aircraft. Usually training aircraft are beat to crap. So, drag required. Okie dokie. $366. Oh shoot, man, that's actually really good. That's not bad at all. That's probably why it's 80,000. That's not bad. And there's a lot to go into when you're trying to pick an aircraft to buy, so definitely talk to some aircraft mechanics. See what they have to say about the aircraft, get them to inspect it, all that kind of stuff before you buy it. You don't want to buy an aircraft right before it needs like an engine overhaul, because that will cost you a good bit of money. Once we make our turn here, head back on our downwind leg. Then I'll go and drop flaps to 5. By the time on final, I want to be at flaps 10. Flaps 15 before I hit our intercept point. Or at flaps 15, sorry, at glide slope intercept, and then flaps 30 about 3 or 4 miles out from the touchdown. See how this does once we hit this waypoint. See if it does turn properly. If it doesn't, I'll just do a heading select and I'll vector us in. Looks like it's going to turn us around just fine. That's good. And there's the airport again. There's that aircraft right there. Let's go and pull up our, we can go and close that out. Our approach again, our missed approach is to climb to 5,900. And then climbing right turn to 12,000 on heading 218. Now bound to view key FQF VOR R254 to bruise and hold, or as directed by ATC. So our missed approach altitude will be 12000. That's important. Our final approach course is 173, as we already have. Intercept of our glide slope at Jetson is 7,000 feet. Our ILS minimums is 200 feet above, or 5,526 barometric. Fly across our downwind here. Once we get about parallel to the touchdown mark, we'll go and drop our flaps. Start in preparation to slow down for our final approach into the area. So far, so good. Won't be much longer now. Should be on the ground here in about 10 or so minutes. Should be interesting how it navigates this final part here. I'm going to check our identifier here. We're looking for IDQQ as our ILS identifier. We have IDXU right now, so we do not have the proper identifier yet. All right, I'm going to drop flaps 1 here. Going to turn on our landing lights and turn off lights. Going to make the announcement that we're landing. And contact ATC, let them know, hey, yeah, we're coming into our final approach here. We'll go ahead and set our runway heading here of 173. Or I think our runway heading actually, what is, it's not 173, it is, that's our final approach heading, but our actual runway heading, if we bring it up here, it is 173. My bad. Nope, it is 173. Go ahead and drop it down to flats 5. We now have IWQQ as our identifier, ILS. So we have our ILS locked in now. Getting closer here. Spotting salmon, thanks. Happy landings, thank you. Hope we'll have a good one here.
Thousand to go. Thousand to go.
Activated that VOR lock. Next we'll hit our APP once we have diamonds are within 1.
Thousand to go.
Y'all don't say. All right. Drop flaps 10.
Thousand to go.
Shut up. Golly, how many times are you going to say that? Uh-huh. And waiting for it, waiting for it. All right, we'll go and activate that. Good speed, 160. Glide slips activated. This goes at 12. 15, gear down. Engine start switches, going continuous. Left or right wipers not needed. Speed brake levers going to armed. Recall, make sure we have no errors. Where's the thing? Where's the thing? There it is. Bring speed down to 144. Or 143. Flaps going 25. Flaps 30. Taxi light on. obviously I'm continuing. Auto throttle's off.
40, 30, 20, 10. Eighty knots.
And we'll make a turn here. Flaps come up. Let's come down. Weather radar's coming off. I'm gonna kill that here. Terrain radar will come off as well. Left and right landing lights off. Position lights are going to go to steady. Transponder out off. Contact ATC. Now we're clear of the runway. Alright, we'll go and bring up our airport diagram here and see how we're going to get down to the... We'll go ahead and take Whiskey Charlie. And take Whiskey Charlie to Foxtrot all the way down to the terminal here. I think that was a decent landing. I'll reset that. This can go down to 1, 0, 0. Light triggers can come off. Let's go to transition altitude, which is 18,000 plus 1. Cabin lighting can go to white medium, so we'll go and do that as well. And bring back this up so I can see where I'm going. And probe heats A and B come off. These can go to auto. And we can go and get this thing started as well. And clear that. Alright. Checking left, checking right. Looks like we're clear to cross, so we'll go and cross here. Once we cross, we're going to take the first right onto Foxtrot. Once we park at the gate, I will do, of course, a replay so we can watch that landing. I'll tell you my landing rate was 166. That is what Project Fly stated. Take Foxtrot all the way down to... I guess basically Foxtrot 1 right here, take a left on it. And we'll pull into one of these terminals. This checklist is for the 737-800. Though, because the aircraft are so similar, you could use that same checklist for the 700 as well. How does landing rating work? Well, landing rating is your feet per minute. So when you touch down. So my feet per minute when I was touching down was 166, negative 166, which means I was dropping by 166 feet per minute when I touched down. You generally, in an airliner, you want to stay below 500. Though it can take, I mean, it can take up to 1,000, your landing gear and stuff, if not higher. But you want, for a good landing, you want to stay below 500. In like a Cessna, you want to stay below 200. This is Foxtrot 2, Delta Sierra, Foxtrot 2, and we're looking for Charlie November, Foxtrot 1, Charlie November intersection. Which is this next one right here. Can you use vertical speed when landing? No. And that's because if you're using vertical speed, the aircraft is controlling, and you have to flare so only your rear landing gear touch down. If you're using vertical speed, that would cause some major issues with possible 3-point landings. Yes, I use extra camera all the time. No problem, Matthew. All these Southwest aircraft on the right. We're going to be parking past them. What do I use to get AI aircraft in the game? I use two things. One, I do draw parked aircraft on the ground, and I also use, gosh, what's it called? Is it called live traffic? Yes, I believe live traffic is free. Is it necessary, mandatory to use DC selector and AC selector? Something like that. 1 second, and I'll ask for some clarification on that. Let me get this thing parked up. This isn't world traffic, this is live traffic. And is it difficult to install? Yeah, it can be. It's a little bit tedious. I wish there was a little bit easier way, but it does its job. It's free, so can't complain if it's free. If you're talking about this right here, like changing these selectors, no, it doesn't matter. It's not mandatory. If you're talking about this right here, this DC, which is your ground power, or AC, which is internal, which one you're using. It's not mandatory that you use ground power to start up, like with your APU and stuff. It's designed where you can use your battery, but you want to save your battery as much as possible for in-flight. So I'm sure pretty much every single SOP out there uses DC power. All right, let's go ahead and back out here. And let's check out my landing. Oh, yeah. That was a good one. That was a goodie. For sure. For sure. All right, let's go ahead and toggle again. And we'll reverse a little bit more here. And we'll change to cabin. Oh, it's going to do that thing again. Hold on a second. Let me change to cabin. Why is it not letting me change the cap? There we go. There we go. Now we'll bring it back out. Nope, this is standard scenery, default. Well, guys, this is going to do it for tonight. Thank you for watching. Be sure to check out my other videos. Be sure to hit that like button. Go ahead and subscribe. Help me reach my goal. And if you want to support me monetarily, you can do that by hitting the join button. Join the Flight Club for $9.99 a month. Or if you want to give a one-time gift, you can do that by hitting that $ below in the chat. That is Super Chat. That gives you can donate any amount to me there. So anyway, guys, thank you for watching, and I'll be getting out of here. Let you guys watch the landing from passenger view, and I'll see you guys next time up in the sky.